Okay, we're back in the car, and so I've got a problem here where when we start it up, and apologies for the wind noise if there is wind noise, when I start it up it sounds like a bag of spanners. So I suspected at first that it might have been the timing belt jumped a tooth, but I pulled the cover off here and checked that, and everything seems to still line up. I then realised that the error messages that it's giving say that the engine is overheating when it's not overheating. So that led me to a couple of things. One is the let me just pull this cover off. One thing is the glow plugs. So there's 4 glow plugs at the back, one here, one here, one here, and one here, and they help warm the engine to start it, get the thing going in the morning, kind of thing. But also what they do is that down here we've got a thing called the diesel particulate filter, DPF, and that collects all the diesel particulates, all the soot that is unburnt from the engine, gathers in there, and then once every while the engine goes through what's called a regen process, where it will actually start up the glow plugs. It'll warm up the glow plugs while the engine is at temperature and running, like you're driving along the road basically. You don't even know this is happening, and this will overheat the inside of the engine to cause the exhaust gases to be too hot, and then it burns off the soot that's inside here, reburns all this stuff here and cleans out the DPF, the filter. The only problem we have is that 2 of the glow plugs, this one and this one, aren't working. I've just tested them and they're testing too high. I've actually marked, you can see a little white mark down there and a little white mark down there, so I've marked them for replacement, about €90 each. So I'll get onto that and get those replaced. But we still have another problem in that the DPF has probably become blocked, and what it's actually saying is it's actually telling us that there's an engine temperature problem. And there's a temperature probe here, there's a temperature probe here, and there's a third one on the exhaust down there. And whenever I looked at this one, which is a common one to fail, hopefully you can see it down there, that comes up to here to this wiring, which was all covered in oil. So I've got a little oil leak somewhere, but whenever I pull this off, you can see it looks pretty horrendous. And the two little connections for the thing are down there, little brass connectors. So I've just tested the continuity between them and those, and they the continuity looks quite the reading looks quite high on the multimeter. So I'm going to clean the I'm going to get at these with a bit of emery paper and clean them up, retest them again, and try and clean the inside of this thing, and see if I can spray that out or whatever else, and see if I can clean that up, put that back together, and see if the temperature reading is any different. There's another one here, and that one, it looks like there's no seal on the top of this one, so I would say oil and stuff has got down inside that as well. So I'll do the same with that one as well, and hopefully, I don't know if that'll fix the problem or not, but at the minute we had to get it towed home because it just won't go, and it's giving me all sorts of engine things. And with one glow plug gone, you can still get the regen to happen. You can still get enough engine heat to clear the DPF. But if 2 have gone, there isn't enough heat, and the DPF becomes blocked, and this is when you'll get all these different temperature issues. Which also makes sense because I was before this even we caught on to this being the problem, we were getting no boost. It was like there was not enough fuel getting through, so you're going along the road and it was like sluggish and really slow. And there's a little vacuum solenoid here, this thing, which is responsible for the turbo boost. There's a little boost lever down here, which I can usually push. Pushes a little bit, and that's operated by a vacuum, and the vacuum pipes coming through here through this little valve. So I've tested the signal to the valve, that works okay. The other solenoid that I pulled out was reading high again, so there was probably failing it some way. So I've put a new one of those in, but it didn't fix the boost problem, and we realise now it's because there wasn't enough heat from the glow plugs to get the regen to happen. We think that's what the problem is. So I'm going to carry on here, and I'll either replace the sensors, or I'm just going to hopefully find that it was just some sort of connection problem up here, and that it'll actually work fine whenever it's all cleaned up. So wish me luck.